So the watering down of the legendary Star Wars franchise without George Lucas is is now going to happen. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I grew up with it, as many people did. But this is not going to, George can do with it as he will because it's his. He created the whole thing, not I. I didn't. Had nothing to do with it. But as a fan, I'm highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. And it is the worst Halloween news. It is scary to think of what could happen to Star Wars. Oh, it's just a shame. Terrible shame.
This is not a message of happiness or reassurance. It is a crisis of confidence. The productivity of American workers is naturally dropping.
We aren't out there hungry, selling America. We've been a little bit lazy, I think, over the last couple of decades.
The symptoms of this crisis of the American spirit are all around us.
We've lost our ambition, our imagination.
Owning things and consuming things.
You go to a bank and you use an ATM. You don't go to a bank teller.
All the legislation in the world can't fix what's wrong with America.
The country that had gotten a little soft.
These changes did not happen overnight.
Change cannot happen overnight.
What can we do?
What can we do? We've been a little bit lazy. Lazy.
I was in chronic pain, and my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be. It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventive care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason,
if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
Governor Romney's argument is, we're not fixed, so fire him and put me in.
If I was in his shoes, I'd be making the same argument.
It is true, we're not fixed.
We know we're not there yet.
We're not where we want to be.
Too many of our friends and family are still out there looking for work.
I don't think anybody would say that we're where we want to be.
The housing market's still weak. Deficits are still too high. Are we satisfied? Of course not.
They shouldn't feel satisfied.
There's still a lot of people in trouble.
Are we where we want to be today? No.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are still hurting out there.
But that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
It's certainly not enough.
We know it's not good enough.
I always believed this was a long-term project. It's going to take more than a year. It's going to take more than 2 years. It's going to take more than one term. Probably takes more than one president. If I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
And we are back. That's right. I am your lovable host, El Rod, host of The Rod Eccles Show. And we are back and blasting out into the universe, all over the USA and all over the world here on Spreaker, powered by the conservative media, broadcast media network, CB Media. I'm sure all of you are pretty familiar with who the CB Media is. I've been affiliated with them for quite a while now. Happy affiliation, I might add. Bunch of great Americans involved with CB Media. That's the only way I can put it. Just a bunch of great Americans, plain and simple. If you actually love this country, and you actually believe in the American spirit, in the American Constitution, you're a great American. Plain and simple. I'm not going to take anything from you on that. That is what and who you are. You are a great American. Got to love you for that. For believing in people. Believing in people to be able to do for themselves better than the government can do for them. And that's a good thing. Except for selling Lucasfilms to Disney. Man, I'm really upset about that. Yes, I know. Look, if I were advising Georgie Boy, well, he's getting a $4 billion payday. And I don't think any of his family members are really into Lucasfilms. But, it's kind of like what happened with the Muppets. I don't think that was a good deal for Jim Henson Studios to sell out to Disney, but at least not for the Muppets. For Jim Henson Studios and Jim Henson's heirs, that was a very good deal. But for the Muppets and the rest of us, I don't think it was a good deal. For the fans, and just as I don't think that this is going to be a good deal. And I don't have anything particularly against Disney. I mean, I like Disney stuff, and I'm all for the free market. But I think the quality of it is going to go down because it's not going to get the attention that Lucas gave it, and I think that is evident that when you don't give it the attention that it needs, the quality of the product is going to go down, because we can see it in the second series of Star Wars. Most of us older fans, we did not think it was anywhere near as good as the first trilogy. Because during the first trilogy, basically Lucas was building his empire. He was focusing 100% on that. When it came to the second, I know he may say he was all in, but he wasn't. He was doing it partly because, fans got tired of waiting, and it was expected of him to do it. Because, we wanted to see the other 6 episodes. We wanted to see 1 through 3 and 7, 8, and 9. And so he was kind of placating us with episodes 1 through 3. And then after getting through, I think it was, when episode 2 came out, he said, well, I don't think I'm ever going to do a 7 through 9 because, I'm going to be like 80 by the time it's all done. And, most fans are like, well, George, how old are you going to be if you don't do it? It's still going to be 80. Right? So I don't think he was all into it. Now, there are people that said that there are people that say that he has the storyline for, he's got the entire story, even down to basic, I guess, pre-scripting of 7 to 9. And I guess Disney's going to get it. But yeah, what does that have to do with politics? Well, everything and nothing. And I'm not. You're gonna have to figure some stuff out for yourself. It's everything and nothing. People are disappointed. They expect something. Now, here's the deal: we expect certain things in a certain way, and we demand it, and then when we get it, it's not what we were expecting, and that's partly due to, one, us building it up in our own minds beyond a reasonable height, and two, the person giving it to us not being 100% sincere. And yeah, I'm going to say that episodes 1 through 3, George Lucas was not 100% sincere. But this is politics. We expected, this is Obama, we expect certain things out of him, whether we voted for him or not. And, well, many of us who didn't vote for him, we knew exactly what we were going to get. So we weren't, I guess, disappointed because we knew exactly what he was going to do. But so many that did vote for him that aren't voting for him this time, I didn't expect this. They had built him so big in their mind that there was no possible way that he was going to be able to fulfill their hopes and dreams. Because that's not where he really was. It's not who he really is or was. And two, he wasn't sincere about it. Look at this guy. I mean, how much presidential activity has he really... He's been on more vacations in the first few years than I think anybody else. He has definitely spent, him and his family have spent more money on traveling than any other president. So he's not 100% sincere. And whenever you make people think and believe that you're going to give them, 100%, they're going to build in their minds up to 120%, and then you come in and only give them 60 or 70%. Well, that's a huge letdown. And that's what we got from Obama. I think the mainstream media and Obama himself built people up to 150%, and Obama came in at 50%. So a lot of people were disappointed. Not me. I expected it. We got exactly what I expected. Disaster. Plain and simple. Ohio college group leads campaign against racially insensitive Halloween costumes. I kid you not. This is a Fox News story. This is Halloween, folks. We dress up as anything and everything.